Hello, I get a lot of comments, a lot of questions asking me to do a video on gearing, and today we're going to do something quite similar to that, and I'm going to show you one of the techniques and one of the tools that I am using to help me gear my heroes, and that is a little website I've been working on. It's up right now, MaBucket.com, if you want to check it out, and we'll go over how I'm using the calculator inside the web app to help me optimize my gear. Just so you know, the website is still a work in progress. It's not the prettiest, there's still a lot of stuff I want to do, but it can help you in the short term if you just want to look at what might be the better gear option. Again, very rough numbers, a lot of this stuff. It cannot take into account the enemy resistances, your hero awakenings, many different things, but it can take into account a reasonable amount and it can give you a general idea, and that can be quite helpful. So the heroes I'm going to focus on today are my Setram, my Nocturne, and my newly pulled Zillitu. So a mild spoiler from my recent summoning event. I managed to pull a Zillitu, so I want to gear her up. And as you can notice, I've got her in a broken set at the moment. Pretty high crit rate, pretty high crit damage, pretty decent attack. Not the best balance, and I've got some decent attack speed, but it's pretty good, really, considering I threw this together from scraps that were remaining from other builds. I'm mostly happy with it. I would like to get her on a set. She should be my highest damaging guild boss, so she deserves better than this, really. So the other people I'm moving around, I have Nocturne, who is in a Hawkeye set. Again, nice crit rate, decent crit damage, decent attack. A little bit lacking on attack speed, but not too bad. So he's a pretty good set. And then I have my Setram, who has good attack speed, good crit rate, great crit damage, but a little bit lacking in attack. And these are the three that I'm going to be moving about. My plan is, at the moment, I think the Hawkeye set would actually function better on Setram. I think the Doom set from Setram would function better on Zillitu. And as my Nocturne tends to do less damage than these two, or should do, I'm going to give him this broken set instead. I'm going to see how that calculates on my web app and see if it might be better for me overall. So let's get into it. Okay, so I have brought up on my screen my calculator, and at the moment there's not a lot of depth to it. You just put in your stats on the left side, and then you can select your accessory set if you want to, and you can select a skill bonus just so you can calculate Dolores, because she does give you an attack bonus which will change the scaling with crit damage. I'm not going to be that detailed today, it's just there because I could. So I'll start with a Zillitu. I'm just going to duplicate this at the moment. I probably should add tabbing to the website, that might help. And let's do it via the attributes, as this is a bit more accurate. Okay, so first up, her base attack. So this is the white number, 4636. Her bonus attack, so the green number, 10949. Her crit chance, which we can see is 96.5. And her bonus crit damage. So this is 176.5, and that will calculate with the additional 150% already baked in the app, so you don't need to add both together. And then we put in her attack interval, which is at 1.9, and you can see her DPS comes out at 26,000. Cool, so that's sorted. Now I'm going to do the same for Nocturne, because I'm going to have to go round to Zillitu at the end, because I'm going to kind of move everyone's gear around in a little triangle. So this one is for Nocturne. I think I probably should have tabbing for this. So his base attack is 4636. Wait, what was Zillitu's? Has she got the same base attack as him? I'm curious. Oh, interesting. They have the same base attack. Anyway, moving on. And his bonus attack is 12308. His crit is 100. His crit damage bonus is 152.5. And his attack interval is 2.2. And he is using the Hawkeye set. So you can see it shows you the bonus DPS granted from the set. Now, this is just assuming that the set bonus is fully activated. That's the way this is calculated. It's assuming that the Hawkeye set is permanently up. So that's how this is currently configured. So you can see he should be doing nearly 28k. Again, not counting his ultimate or his actual skill effects or, skill ups on those things. This is just raw the stats. Okay, so now I'm going to test with taking Zillitu's set and see what the difference is. He should lose quite a bit for this, but we'll see. So those are the two easy pieces to change. Now I need to find all the broken pieces that she's wearing. I'm doing it this way around because I figure it will be easier to find the pieces, because I can just find the sets now rather than trying to find all of the individual pieces. Now I can just see if it's Zillitu or not. Okay, there we go. I have re-geared my Nocturne. Apologies for the overlay. You get the idea. You can see the stats on the right. That's the most important thing. So I've re-geared my Nocturne. And we can see this is the new one, no set applied, base attack is the same. I'll do it through this screen as well, just because this is a more final screen. You can see the attack is much higher here. 11269. His crit rate is now down to 96.5. His bonus is now up to 176.5, and his attack interval is now 1.9. And yeah, so that's the change, and he's actually lost about 1300 DPS, so not the worst actually. I thought it might be a lot worse than that. So I'm okay with that, so long as the rest of the damage isn't too bad. So let's move on to Setram, and we'll do his calculation first and then see what the damage is in changing it. So he has a bit higher base, 4788, gaining 9352, a crit of 99.5, bonus of 216, and an interval of 2.7. Again, his ult is going to push his attack speed way up, but we don't really care about that for the time being. We just want to work out pound for pound which gear is technically better. Obviously attack scaling into the future and crit damage scaling will change how these things work, so this is a very rough idea. And you can see his DPS is lower than anyone else at the moment, but that's purely because he doesn't have his ult up, and he doesn't have his many passives which do churn up and build his crit rate and his crit damage up. So mine does actually have a bit too much crit damage at the moment. But anyway, that's what we've got at the moment with this current set. Let me just double check that I'm not being completely wrong. Cool, so let's duplicate this tab, and let's move him onto the Hawkeye set that I have just stripped. So Hawkeye, and there should be some pretty nice pieces floating about. And this one last of all. So that looks to be about right to me. The middle piece is not the best, but not too bad on gearing, a bit low on attack speed, but maybe it's okay. So let's do the math and see if this is an okay set to give him. So same base attack, his bonus attack is way higher now, which I'm a bit happier with, honestly. His crit is down a bit, his crit damage is down quite a bit, but he gets a bunch passively, and his attack speed is down, which is very unfortunate. But now he has moved on to the Hawkeye set. So you can see he's actually not taken much of a dip in his DPS. He's dropped about 300. So far the damage is 1300 DPS on Nocturne and 300 on my Setram. However, my Setram I think might be better off a bit more than it's showing, because if you look at his skill passives, he actually gains crit damage and crit rate, which at the moment are the two of the things that were hit by his changes. He was on nearly 100, so if you bump this to 100, you can see it would actually put him above what he was previously on. So I think this will be a net win for Setram. I think he's gained out of this set, so I'm okay with that. I think that worked out okay. So now finally we can have a look at regearing my Zilla2. So if we remember, this is the first tab I put up for Zilla2 with the broken set. So let's duplicate this, and she's going to be wearing the Doom set. So let's go find that. Okay, there we go. That is my Zilla2 sorted back into her gear. So now she's actually over 100% crit rate. Her attack is a bit low because this is the set from Setram. This is one with 2 crit damage pieces on it rather than 2 attack, which I don't think is ideal, but this is kind of what I had floating around. I could have swapped this one out for an attack speed one, but I just prefer this a bit more. She's still got decent attack speed, and she's got very good crit damage, and obviously we've hit the cap on crit rate, so that's all very good. So now let's see if this is actually going to work for her. So this is the Doom set. We'll go back to attributes, details, and this time we're on 9827. We have a crit chance of 102.5. Bear in mind, this calculator, if you go over 100, it won't mean anything. It will just calculate assuming 100 is the cap. 192 on crit damage and 2 on the attack interval. Okay, so what's the damage? Nice. Cool, that's what I wanted to see. So she gains about 2.3k DPS. This should be a much better set for her overall. What's the main differences? We've gained a bunch of crit damage, we've gained some crit rate, and we've dropped about 1000 in attack. So, and we've lost 0.1 attack interval, but we have gained the Doom set, which is increasing our damage flat by a 15% increment, which is quite nice. So that's pretty much it. That's how I gear my characters. It's kind of hard for me to show you a test run, as I haven't even tried Zilla2 yet, but this is a general principle on just gearing to see the higher the DPS number, the better the DPS. This is going to be calculating so that you can see the balance between your attack and your crit damage, and of course it's going to be using the crit value as well. So if you drop this crit down to 0, your DPS flatlines pretty much. You get very low. 8.3k, 10% boosts you up a lot, 50%, 70%. So for those of you who doubt that pushing crit rate above 60%, this will help you understand that it is actually very important. You can see massive DPS gains because of course you are losing all of this crit damage plus the 50% bonus every time you're not critting. So crit is incredibly important. Anyway, hopefully this calculator is of use to you guys. The rest of the website is available. There are a bunch of other stuff here that I would like to show you, but at the moment it is still a work in progress. There's a little FAQ section that might help. There's a tier list section which I haven't really worked on yet, but there's the old image that I've already done. There is a guide section where I have put the storyline table. I'm probably going to do another video, but hey, it's there if you want to use it, guys. If you're working on the storyline quest, here's a usable table for the time being, and you can filter it to highlight quests of a certain type. So work in progress on the website, but I thought I would reveal it to you now because I just got Zilla 2 and I wanted to gear her. And I thought, well, while I'm doing it, I might as well show you what I've got. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope the website is a help. Let me know what you think below. Let me know if there's any suggestions or content or guides or tier lists or anything you would like me to add to the website, and I'll do my best to get onto it. I am a pretty busy guy. Unfortunately, I have work and I have a bunch of other responsibilities, but when I get time, I will be updating this website and adding as many useful tools as I can. So thank you very much. Have a lovely weekend. Take care and bye-bye.